Hey guys, welcome back to We Watch the Movie. I'm Mike and he's Jay, and today we're reviewing Two Guns with Denzel Washington, Mark Wahlberg, directed by a guy whose name I can't pronounce. He also directed Contraband.
Fuck yeah. When you gotta rob a bank, you gotta go with a friend. I mean, that's the way it works.
And don't rob a bank across from a place that makes good donuts, because cops like donuts.
That's a saying.
They really hammer that home.
That's a saying.
They really hammer it home. Criminal buddies, but they've each got their own government agencies that they work for, but they're double-crossing each other. Everybody's double-crossing everybody, and they do this big heist, and it ends up that the agencies that they work for double-cross them. Everybody's double-crossing everybody. No spoilers here. I won't tell you who's double-crossing who, but basically, there's no spoilers to give away because everybody's double-crossing everybody in this movie, right?
It's a goddamn double-cross.
Yeah, so, and what it is, basically, the great thing about this movie is Denzel Washington and Mark Wahlberg work amazingly together.
That's the best chemistry I've seen on screen this year. I mean, you had the R.I.P.D. with Jeff Bridges and Ryan Reynolds. It was good, but this is better. I mean, this is more of the adult version that you wanted to see. It's fun. It's deserty. It's smelly. It's arid. I guess you could say it's like a Quentin Tarantino. It's smelly. It's smelly. It's kind of like a Quentin Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez kind of movie, but a cleaner version of it.
A poor man's version.
A poor man's version of it.
Yeah, the movie around these two is not that great, guys. It's kind of convoluted. I mean, it was easy for me to follow and understand what was going on, but it was like, why do we have to go through this many twists and turns? It was like there's constantly like someone's double crossing somebody, and then someone's on this side now, and it's just like, I don't care about that. When the movie works, it really freaking works, though. Like Denzel Washington and Mark Wahlberg are absolutely hilarious together.
They were great. And I think overall, like the whole movie is like an updated 21st century bank heist cowboy movie, except without the spurs and heels and cowboy hats and factor in the fucking pot.
Yeah,
it's still like it's like a cowboy story.
It's a modern.
Old West
well, not even Old West, but it's 80s action movies. It's a modern version of them because you've got today's comedy and today's stuff like that. They don't try to make it a throwback to the 80s action movies, but it's ballsy like them. I mean, there's a lot of cursing, there's a lot of fucks. There's a scene where they actually shoot live chickens, and that pissed one reviewer off. He's like, they actually kill animals. Like, dude, get the fuck over it. Those were stuffed animals.
How many times you got a KFC? Tell me that.
And then that scene was freaking hilarious. Like Mark Wahlberg actually best Denzel Washington in this movie.
You know what? Yes, Mark Wahlberg was the shit in this movie. He was funny. He had great action scenes in it. He was just overall a good guy, a good actor in this movie. And the thing about him is, I think he had a little bit left over from Ted. Because he brought that Ted attitude.
And other guys, too.
And other guys, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, so they had serious situations going on. It's a rated R movie. There's killing, there's violence, there's drugs, there's cursing, there's even boobs in one point.
Boobs are good.
Boobs are good. That's awesome that they made it rated R. They did it. Denzel Washington kind of plays, he's like a low-key version of the Training Day version. He's not a bad guy, but he's not like a super good guy either.
The thing is like, Denzel is so badass now, though. I mean, you don't have to be good. I mean, you can just cash in the fucking performance.
Yeah.
I mean, there's one scene where he's like, licking his shit, like he's licking his
He's licking his thumb before he counts his money.
Yeah, he's like doing his dollar bills like that. I was like, that's fucking badass. Only Denzel could do that. Denzel could show up wearing like a black t-shirt and pants to his own premiere. I saw that on Yahoo, and he looked badass doing it.
So they're hilarious together. They're what makes the movie work. The movie around it's not all that great. It's not poorly shot, but it's not amazingly shot either. The special effects are pretty good. There's some good action scenes in it. And it's an enjoyable movie to watch. I'm going to give it a 7.5.
I'm going to give it an 8.0. I think it's a fun movie. That's the main thing about this. It's a fun movie. It's a buddy cop movie. Everybody's going to enjoy it. It's not Lethal Weapon. It's not anything like special.
It's not groundbreaking.
Yeah, it's not groundbreaking. It's been done before. It's the same formula recycled a million times, but it's still a really great movie. You'll have fun watching it if you're like into those kind of movies.
It's a throwback to 80s action, but at the same time it's made in a modern way. Like, they're not very apologetic. It's not a sissy movie by any means.
I think the best part is near the end when they have this big Mexican kind of standoff. That's fucking awesome. I love that scene.
Yeah, the movie's really anti-American. Like, everybody in the movie is just like, this movie kind of shits on America and our politics or whatever, and there's like conspiracy theories and stuff going on, and I don't care about all that stuff. It's like, this is just a fun action movie, but they try to like add layer after layer of twist after twist of like, the story going around is convoluted and it's not that interesting and you don't really care about it, but it's worth going to see because Mark Wahlberg and Denzel Washington are so great together and the action's good in the movie, so that's why I give it a 7.5.
I guess you could say, well, who's in it? CIA, American Navy, and the DEA, and they're all wrapped up with this whole conspiracy going on with Mark Wahlberg and Denzel Washington and the Mexican cartel in the middle of it.
Yeah, and there's a whole shit ton of stuff that never gets wrapped up. There's stuff that doesn't make sense. It's just like in any, like I said, 80s action movie where it's like, how did Arnold Schwarzenegger just kill 80 people and he's not even a cop? But
he's fucking Arnold.
He walks away scot-free. Like, you just gotta let that shit go and enjoy the movie, and for that, it's a great movie.
Because Arnold can do that. He can just blow
Arnold can do anything.
But you know what? Blow on them, and they can. Blow it. But yeah, so yeah, it's like Mike said. There's no there's no tie-ups. I mean, there's gonna be some things that you can be like, well, they didn't explain what happened there or that, but who gives a fuck? It's still fun.
Yeah.
Guns exploding, Denzel's licking money, Mark Wahlberg's like delivering funny lines and being action-oriented. Who gives a shit? He thrives in this movie. Mark Wahlberg, if anything else, thrives in these kind of movies.
He's amazing in it.
He's a bacteria that just won't die.
Yeah, and we laughed our asses off at him. So, yeah, so question of the day, guys, is what is your favorite bank robbery scene in a movie? Like, particular scene. Like, I love the scene, just off the top of my head, I love the scene in Place Beyond the Pines when Ryan Gosling screams, like, in that high-pitched voice and starts robbing banks, and that whole scene. It may not be my favorite. It's the first one that comes to the top of my head. But what's your favorite bank robbery scene in a movie of all time?
I mean, if you're going to say to the top of your head, I don't know why I just thought that the Dark Knight, when Joker robs the bank.
That was a good one.
That was a fucking badass
That was a
scene.
good one.
Even though Heat is my favorite bank robbery
That's
movie.
an awesome movie. We'll see you guys next time on
Eating potatoes are fun.
We watched a movie. Yeah. We watched a movie.